to call each director's name so that they can have, they can speak. We will start with the roll call. I did. Okay, so the roll call, please. Vicki?
Director Scobie.
Here.
Director Aitken.
Here.
Director Carlson. Here. Director Wooten. Here. Director Morrison. Here.
We will observe our pledge of allegiance, and I will do that today.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone, and I'd like to let you know that public testimony will be received on each agenda item as it is called. Principal party on each side of an issue is allocated 10 minutes to speak. Individual comments are limited to 3 minutes, except with the consent of the board. Individuals shall be allowed to speak on an item only once. Members of the audience are asked to volunteer their name before addressing the board. The board reserves the right to waive said rules by majority vote. We are now moving on to the adoption of the agenda, and I'd like to bring it to the board's attention that we will not be having a presentation today from El Dorado Irrigation District. Do we have a motion to adopt the agenda?
I move to adopt the agenda as written.
Okay.
And could I ask for an amendment because we will not be having that presentation today, so adopt the agenda.
I move to adopt the agenda as written with the exception of the presentation by El Dorado Irrigation District.
Holly? Okay. All in favor? We need to practice our poll voting today so that everyone can hear. So, Vicki?
Director Scobie.
Aye.
Director Aitken.
Aye.
Director Carlson. Aye. Director Wooten. Aye. Director Morrison. Aye.
Okay, the agenda is adopted 5-0. Moving on to open forum for non-agenda items. This is the opportunity for our public to address any item that is not on the agenda that falls within the jurisdiction of the board of directors. And we are delighted to have 2 members of our audience today. And we'd love to hear what you have to say.
Thank you. My name is Tara Bertram. Okay. My name is Tara Bertram. We are here today. There is not a bullet on the agenda for the lagoon topic, but I did want to ask if we could put that on there. Discuss that. Maybe there's a few of us in the community who are hoping that we could see if there's another way to keep the lagoon open and possibly put the splash pad back on the back burner and see what else needs to be done besides just the replacement of the pool pump and cost and everything. There's a few of us that have ideas and we want to get together with you guys. And I know that where it's discussed is the next Parks and Recreation meeting. I'm wondering if we put that on the agenda for the next Parks and Recreation meeting.
Okay, do you have any other further comments?
Oh, yeah. So I had emailed every one of you. That was great. Thank you so much again for getting back to me on that. It was much appreciated. I'm sure you can't answer any questions right now, but a few of the questions that we did have were costs associated with the splash pad if you guys were still going to be charging at the Cameron Park Lake, because there are free splash pads in the El Dorado Hills Cameron Park area that people can actually go to for free, so there would be lost revenue in that if we were still going to be charging. And I wanted to see if you guys were able to provide head counts and tallies from visitors from last year, from last summer. And I mean, I flew up here and saw maybe 2 years, 3 years ago. I didn't know that the Cameron Park Lake existed. further, but for the few of us that do utilize it, I think I love sharing it, and I would love the community to be more aware that it exists. And like I said, it's very few and far between that we see community members that are here involved. I don't think that they're aware of what you guys do, and that this is a monthly meeting. So we're trying to get more awareness out there, and I know that the splash pad has not been decided, not a solid factor yet, so there's still time. And when is that decision going to be made final? Is that June? Or is that just, you're going to talk about it in June? Next budget?
It's a process.
Okay.
To come to the committee meetings where the work is actually done.
Okay. All right. So yeah, if we, are you guys willing to work with us and possibly brainstorm financial ideas? And if we, because there were,
That's your time.
okay. Thank you.
If you would like, we can get staff to get back to you regarding some of your questions.
Okay.
Okay?
That would be great. I will email you more as well.
Great, thank you.
Did you have more to say? Request more time.
Okay. I'm almost done, but there could be more to the next Parks and Rec meeting. But my last question is just if you guys are willing to hear what we are. Okay, cool.
Absolutely, we want to hear it.
Thank you.
Anyone else from the public like to speak? Okay, seeing none, thank you very much. We really appreciate you making an effort to come today and hear from you. It's extraordinarily important that we hear from our members. And yes, we're definitely willing to listen to what you have to say. And we look forward to hearing more. Moving on to our approval of the consent agenda. Do we have a motion?
I'd like to pull item 7.
Okay, item
So
7.
move to approve the consent calendar and pull item 7.
Do we have a second? Okay, so do we have a motion to, yes, Holly just made a motion to approve the consent agenda with item 7 pulled. I will second that. With a poll vote, we have a vote, please.
Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Easton,
Aye.
Director Carlson, Director Wooten, Director Morrison.
Yes.
Okay, the consent agenda has been approved with item 7 removed and moved to item 10, which will now be our first item under general business. Item number 7 is the directing the preparation of the annual engineer's report for landscape and lighting districts for fiscal year 2020-21. Holly?
Yes.
You wanted to pull that item? We'd like to hear your thoughts.
We go on to, we're already on 10. So I just, my concern is that I understand the concept, this will go out to SCI, but I just want to inform the board that as the chair of the ad hoc committee for the lighting and landscape districts, that I am not satisfied that we're at a place to fully comprehend what needs to be done to bring these LLADs into financial healthy status. So I just want to be assured that we are not moving forward with a process that puts the cart before the horse. And because our last meeting was canceled, I had requested an accounting to show all of the monies that had been requested by the district from the auditor controller's office, and a complete explanation going back as far as Ms. Nybauer went to try to resolve the ongoing issues that we know that we have, which I think we went back maybe to 2017?
Yes, 16, 17.
16, 17. So I just would like to see that spreadsheet of fully understanding from the 2016-2017 budget that unlocks the dollars contributed starting from mid-year 2017 from interim general manager Mr. Ramirez to date, and how those monies were dispersed, because the concern was about how those dollars were resolved incorrectly, how they were incorrectly resolved, if you will, from the expenditures to budget. So just to see that some of them are severely underwater. Some monies were applied from one LLA to another, and Ms. Nybauer has done a tremendous amount of work. So I just want to be sure that we're not going out and getting assessments.
I believe this resolution is directing the preparation of the requested
I understand that.
report,
But
not the
yeah,
accounting.
I just want to be sure that, because the problem, in my opinion, is that what the district does is simply give the accounting to SCI, and they include it in their report. There's no auditing of it.
Well, no, but it's my understanding that is what in previous years in our discussion on that was that has changed. We are going with actuals now. And in the package that we were doing back in December, each of those LLADs were broken down for the cost of submitted account. Now, you can do a deeper dive, and there are a few lines I agree with probably asking some questions on, but there's only 2 or 3 LLADs that are in intro.
And that's fine, but I'd like to see from the 2016-17 budget, where were they then from Ms. Nybauer's accounting to where we are today, and to really fully understand. So I don't think this will impede going to SCI. I don't think it will impede it at all. I just wanted to bring it up, bring it to the board, so that when we do reschedule that LLAD ad hoc committee meeting, Eric and I and Ms. Haggerly, along with staff, will be able to come back to the board and explain to you with give you assistance of how that all happened, and where we are, and where we need to go forward. That would be our report out where we need to go in order to get these above water and keep the others healthy.
Okay. So,
So I'm not asking for any action. I just want
right,
to
bring it towards us. Thank you.
Because I know Ms. Nybauer has done a tremendous amount of work too. I just want to see it.
Okay, understood. Because we have our other board members on phone call, I am going to request from each one if they'd like to have if they have any comments. I'll start with Felicity. Do you have any further comments on this agenda item? Felicity, can you hear us here?
I don't have any comments.
Okay, thank you. And Ellie, if you could also let us know if you do or do not have any. Could you say that again, please, Ellie? Do you have any comments regarding this agenda item number 7 on the preparation of the engineer's report? Ellie, can you hear me?
Yes.
Do you have any questions regarding the preparation of the engineer's report for the LLAD?
Not at this time.
Okay. And Eric, I believe you spoke, Holly spoke, I have no questions. Let's take it out to the public. Does the public have any comments regarding this item? Okay, no comments from the public. Bringing it back to the board, we have a motion to approve item 7, resolution 2020-06, directing the preparation of the annual engineer's report for landscaping and lighting districts for fiscal year 2020-21. I will make the motion to approve resolution 2020-06, as I just stated. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Eric. And a poll vote, please, Vicki?
Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Easton,
Aye.
Director Carlson. Aye. Director Wooten. Aye. Director Morrison.
The resolution has passed 5-0. Moving on to item 11, public hearing, second reading and approval of ordinance 2020.03.18, weed and rubbish abatement. And this is our second hearing, and we need to open that hearing. So we are hereby opening that hearing. Sherry, is there any comments that you'd like to add?
Chief Morales has texted my chief having a hard time hearing.
Oh,
So, yes, so, Chief Morales, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, it might be higher pitch for just a little bit.
Okay, go ahead, Eric. Why don't you repeat what I asked her?
Okay. Chief Morales, we are on item number 11 on the public hearing, second reading ordinance number 2020-03.18, weed and rubbish abatement. This is our second visitation on this. Do you have any additional comments for us or clarifications at this point?
I'm sorry, but there's so much echo, I can't understand what you're saying.
So you can, maybe,
Is this better, Sherry?
Yes, much better.
Okay. We're just asking if you have any other comments or clarification on the weed abatement resolution.
The only thing that I'm going to say is to be the one correction the director that he wanted, and it was on 11A, page 6, where we were going to relocate the wood pile outside of zone 1, get the property line extension beyond zone 1.
So you made the adjustment for wood piles on residential areas without parcel lines going on zone 1. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. It seems like that was the one correction, and everything else was really good.
And this was moved from the fire committee with support. That change.
Yeah.
So this also moved from the fire committee with support.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to ask each director if they have any further questions before opening it up to the public. Holly, any questions?
none this second.
Eric?
None.
Felicity?
No, I support it.
Ellie?
No, that's okay.
I don't have any further comments, so back to you, Holly. Or,
No, agree with the changes.
okay, so, and we'll open it up to the public. Is there any comments from the public regarding our updated ordinance on weed and rubbish abatement? Don't be shy.
automobiles fall under that category?
If you didn't understand the question, the public is, do automobiles fall under the category of rubbish?
Automobile?
Yes.
Yes, they would. It's going to be anything that is combustible, and that's going to be a vehicle that is combustible.
Okay, last question. Jacuzzis. Can we add jacuzzis to that rubbish list? Because exposed wires are, you know.
The question is, if jacuzzis also qualify under that because of exposed wires?
Would that fall under accumulation?
As far as the festival spaces,
It's jacuzzi rubbish.
Is it an unattached or
Unattached.
non-working?
Just, yeah, in the middle of the property. Unused.
Is it what?
here, I don't need you to translate everything.
Okay. The question is, a jacuzzi in the middle of property, unattached, away from the dwelling, within, I'm assuming, zone 1,
And not worthy.
and not working.
Yeah.
So,
Or is that CC?
Or is that a CCNR question?
Or is it cross?
hold on a second.
The jacuzzi would be in zone 2, not zone 1.
Really, what we'll be looking at is if there will, if lateral occurrences that are going to be able to ignite and light that jacuzzi on fire. I suspect there are other people who have jacuzzis in the 30-foot zone. And that is going to be allowed, but we're not going to allow ground and some of the big ground around that. We were going to want them to, clear around it, if they were the propane tank or the wood pile, which would be the 10 foot. It's all going to be a case by case. There's going to be no permit canvas for everything, because it's on the pipe now.
So it's more case-by-case basis, whether it's in zone 1 or even zone 2 at that point, correct?
Absolutely correct.
Question?
They're not working the system of only on Royal Court.
Yep.
So I think we should,
Go ahead, Holly.
I'm sorry, this is Director Morrison. We could look at page 5 of attachment 11A, section 5, duty to remove and abate hazardous vegetation and rubbish. So what the resident was asking, are we calling out specifics to, or what is the determination of what rubbish is? And so, because we have some properties within the district that have vehicles that aren't running, we have hot tubs, as an example, that aren't running. Are we calling those out specifically? Do the CCNRs and the weed abatement program overlap each other, or do we need to call these things out individually?
Sherry, did you understand Director Morrison's statement?
It's not a word.
Okay. I'll give a summary and she'll nod if I'm representing her well. The question becomes where there's an overlap between CCNR responsibilities and then the fire hazard mitigation. Because we have properties with cars that aren't running, jacuzzis that aren't working. Where does this fall within the fire abatement jurisdiction and where is the CCNRs? Is it when you do an inspection and
decide case by case that any of these items are a fire hazard?
Yes, because I do not know if you know that apply to that or if there are any. If there are that apply to having, things like that in optional properties, if we did an inspection, we would refer to the case. If there's not, and it doesn't prove to be a fire hazard where there's, like I said, there's fuel that goes into it, that would qualify as a fire hazard and therefore relevant.
Okay, so it sounds like it, just for people's consideration, it's more of a factor of fuels, not just the rubbish itself.
It's fuel.
What is rubbish?
Some of it's fall under the benefits of the sheriff's department. No, they would need something to enforce. That would have to be a CCNR for enforcement unless the county has something which I'm not aware of. And like I said, I don't know if CCNR, if there's any CCNR having vehicles and things that are slightly in your yard, then they would take precedence. If there's nothing like that, and we determine that it's a fire hazard when we're doing an inspection, then it's going to fall under the ordinance.
So would it suffice to say that the general language gives fire marshal latitude to designate what is a fire hazard, and if there are public concerns in the community, they can bring those specifically to you?
Yes, and I'll give you a quick example. If there was a car in the yard and it had no tires, no engine, no seat, and it was just a piece of metal, it's not going to be a fire hazard. If it's got tires and has all that stuff and there's fuel around it, it's going to say it's a fire hazard.
What was that last one?
May I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead, Ellie.
Does this also fall under items such as you're speaking of in the rear yard?
Yes, the fire department, what I understand is the ability to inspect the entire property.
Yes, Director Rubin, our understanding is this is simply anything within Zone 1, which is a radius around the property, regardless of front yard, backyard, side yard, etc.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'm sorry, Holly, did you have another comment? Okay. And because this is, a public hearing here, I want to make sure that we properly addressed your question. We did. Any further questions or comments from the board of directors? I'm going to go through and ask each one. Holly, any other comments?
No, I'm just hopeful that with that clarification, we may be able to deal with some of our concerns within the district based on this updated clarification of language.
Yes. Eric, any further questions?
No, besides that, all my questions were answered at the last meeting in the conversation with Chief Grant, so all my concerns are addressed. Thank you.
And Felicity, any further questions or comments on this ordinance? Felicity, can you hear me?
Hold on, yes, but it's pretty difficult. Could you repeat that, please?
Do you have any further questions or comments regarding our weed abatement ordinance?
No, I believe this is the first time that I've heard it, and I do not have questions or comments. Thank you.
Ellie, do you have any other questions or comments regarding our weed abatement program ordinance?
I have no further comments.
Okay. Seeing no further comments, do we close our public hearing and then take a vote? So we are hereby closing our public hearing, and we will take a poll vote.
We have a motion.
I'm sorry, I need to read the whole thing? Yes.
Jason, I apologize, I did not bring the printout with the specific verbiage. Can you help us out with that?
So I can make a motion, and he can help us.
Yeah, I'll tell you that this is about the only person I can hear.
Did you make it, did you vote to, did you want to make the motion, Holly?
I'll move to approve agenda item number 11, ordinance number 2020.03.18, weed and rubbish abatement as amended.
By title only per what Jason's verbiage. Yes. And direct. And then, did you want to second that motion, Felicity?
Yeah, I second.
Okay. All in favor by a poll vote, please?
Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Easton,
Aye.
Director Carlson,
Aye.
Director Wooten,
Aye.
Director Morrison,
Aye. Okay, the ordinance number 2020-0318 is now passed, and that was a 5-0 vote. Moving on to item 12, approve resolution 2020-09 to approve constructing a fire and rescue facility/tower. And Sherry, did you want to take us off on that, or Vicki, how are we going to do that? Sherry?
Sherry, did you want to kick that off?
Absolutely. So we are asking the board to approve the construction of a fire rescue training facility tower. Our report, I submitted a report to the fire committee earlier this month, and in response to Director Scobie's questions, I put them on there, right down those questions, and we'll be answering questions for the board members prior to tonight's meeting. My report says that in 2015, this project was included in the training, I think the fire department master plan and capital improvement, and after talking to retired chief, we discovered it's actually been in the plan, both plans, since 2006, for about 13 years.
Sherry, I need to interrupt you for a moment. Just speak slower, please.
They're asking if you can speak a little bit slower.
Okay, so did you get that, or do I need to repeat that?
We're good.
They're good.
Good? Okay, good. So in 2007, the fire department staff began the process of moving this project forward. They moved it through the planning department, obtained a revision to the special use permit for the fire station 89, and it went through all the reviews, check valves of the county and county district. It was literally ready to go with it. And I checked into why it might not have happened back in 2011, and from what I understand, there was not enough money in the fire impact account. The district was probably going to have to come up with some funds to take the project move forward. And you guys know with general managers taking over and fire taking over, here we are over 8 years later. We have funds to do it. And as I said in my report here, I was going to look at it. Is critical. It has a critical role in efficient, effective firefighting response to emergency incidents. This power and support is going to need, it's going to enable our firefighters to be trained on multi-story buildings that they do not have the opportunity to train on right now. They've had situations where the fire is in control below them, and they are picking up the rescue of out there and being able to do this is our number one priority is the safety of our firefighters and the citizens that the service. So what we are asking is, and I think that one of the questions was, possible maintenance, how what's the possible maintenance of the state of this building in the future. And we actually happen to have a couple of certified instructors that can perform state fire marshal recognized classes that will certificate to personnel through there. There's an example of rescue operations, control 3, and rapid rescue through operations classes. And we could, in fact, charge for people to attend this class, and it will more than handle the maintenance on this building.
Jerry, I have the pictures you sent me last week up here. I apologize if the director, Elliot, Felicity can't see, but.
You'll add them to the packet.
How far away do they have to go now to exercise that training? Isn't it clear over to Ione, however you pronounce it? Yep, it's in Ione at our big fire station facility. Every one of our call fire employees from the state train there, and since the fire committee meeting, have actually looked it up a little more, and we don't even have, because they are back-to-back classes there, we don't even have the opportunity. We tried to get it as a spring to train, and we got one day of what's in our state it was six call fire. So it's not available. And the company, this building right here, is the company that built this training tower that we have to get out. And it's an accessible, really, really great tool. Thank you.
Felicity, do you have any questions or comments?
I'm encouraged that the county board of supervisors already approved this pipeline. I'm encouraged that the funding is already in place. I'm encouraged that it provides an opportunity for increased training from our fire department, and I think possibly even bringing in other folks to come here and spend the money in our something that I support. Thank you.
Holly, any questions, comments? Yes, thank you. Chief Moran, what is Jonah Winger's current rank?
I'm sorry,
The question is, what is Jonah Wayner's current rank?
He's a fire captain.
Fire captain?
Yes.
So I just wanted to acknowledge the work that Captain Winger did in 2011. It's incredibly efficient and complete. There was no pushback at all from county building and planning, which is astonishing in itself. Congratulations to CAL FIRE. This has been a long time coming. I know he's familiar with this project. This is something that we've been working toward for a long time, and congratulations to Cameron Park Fire Department, CAL FIRE, and the work that was done, and that we're able to move this through and use the funds that have been allocated to this kind of concept. Great job.
Thank you, Holly. Eric?
One question I had not asked, and I echo everything Holly had to say. I recognize that there are warranties involved in different elements of the structure. Is there a life expectancy of the structure? I'm not talking about warranty, but how long will the structure last with regular use?
So I think you said you were asking about how long the structure would last, and academy, so I used to work at the academy, I worked there for 6 years, so I trained in it, and never knew, I didn't even realize it was a company. And that date goes back, I'm gonna say 15 years, if not more, and it's getting to be daily, and it's in great shape. And so I think, some of the research I've done and what Captain Weaver, and I did hear what Director Moore, that's not part of that, and I really appreciate the comments on that, because Fire Captain Weaver has done a ton of research on this and did a lot of work, and he was going in on his, well, from what I understand now, on his days off up there to the county to make sure it's going free. So I think he's gonna do a dance if this actually happens. But that being said, the building itself is made to withstand the test of time. It's made for rain, it's made for the weather, it's made to be beat up, and it's unsafe to death. But these guys are climbing all over it. And I've seen them on the academy, and it's doing phenomenal. So.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm very excited to echo what Holly said, and the amount of work that's gone into this over the years, I think is extraordinarily impressive. I will try to talk slower as well. My concern, I was really happy to hear you address the operations and maintenance fees that you believe can be, Sherry, that you're saying can be covered by our other regional firefighters and people and other agencies training on the tower. And I would like to actually add a whereas clause to our current resolution, something that would read, whereas, the maintenance and operational costs for the structure or the tower would be exclusively funded with service fees and outside funding sources in order to maintain this training tower. Sherry, is that something, did I hear you say you thought was possible?
I just curious about that for me.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so let me grab my folder.
Would come out of fire and acting.
So my question was, Sherry, did I hear that you said that the maintenance and operational fees, for the burn rooms, for the electricity and propane for the tower, you feel can be recouped by renting to other firefighters and agencies?
Well, first thing is since the last meeting, I don't, it didn't necessarily actually propane route at all. The system was, once we got a price on it, it was incredibly expensive. So there won't be the propane cost, but not renting out of the building, because we will only for the training. What we would do is post statewide recognized classes there where other firefighters would attend and pay a fee to attend that training to get a certificate out of it. And also, please know that the training fund that we have, that we get from South and Tahoe dollars that go in as the Cal Fire dollars, we will use that money also to help with the beautification, or with the fire, rescue water boat here pretty good, and it's going to be able to rescue lake or in surrounding areas of Cameron Park, and that's going to come out of that fund. So I would do the same. If we needed to do something on that building, we can use those funds for that, in addition to any income from classes that we put on.
Okay, so you're saying that the outside funding source of the training classes you can use to offset any type of operation and maintenance for the tower?
Yes.
And do you think that the operations and maintenance of this tower could be offset with not only those fees, but with service fees when the other agencies are training on the tower?
If it's cooperative mutual aid training, I do not want to, tell people that if you want to come train with us, it's not the case. If there's a structure fire in Cameron Park, it's not just 18, 89 days of fire. You cannot do it alone. It's going to be being at a rescue. It's going to be on fire. It's going to be a lot of help. They are going to come. They are going to be the ones who are assisting and putting these fires out. And we have to know how to talk with them, work with them, know what's on their equipment, and train the firefighting vets that we use. If we have to sit there and figure this out, it's going to cost us a way. And so having that continuity and that smoothness of knowing how we work with each other is critical. It's not just as soon as we're going to put the fire out. So that is where I would say, hey, you want to come train with us? I am very happy that this classes on and our new environment training done that we can manage the state job that's probably the United States until about 20 years old, 15, 20 years old. I know. And there's nothing else that really breaks the food and why we're going to be on top of the building. There's no moving parts on it. I mean, this is what it's used for. So it'll be mostly.
Okay, so, I guess, I heard what you said, but I'm not sure if my question was answered, in that, you're going to be doing training there, but you don't want to charge fees for those trainings from outside agencies on the tower?
So maybe, and I might not be explaining it right, there's two different training aspects. There's training where we're going to go, hey, this is a structure fire, and look at you, they create a scenario, you have a structure fire, and they'll have the engine, pre-positioned, and they'll respond as if they're coming in. That's the kind of training that I'm saying that I don't want to charge for. Now, if you're assigned John Richards, for example, is the instructor in road rescue, what we do is we fly the class, and we have a specific statewide certified class that will give people certificates. They will pay to go to that class. And that will bring in a significant amount. And those two classes that I have, that I put in there as examples, that we have instructors that are trained in, that is more than going to cover any maintenance costs for this building.
Okay, so I heard then that the state training that issues certificates will provide funds for the maintenance of the tower. Would that also cover any type of operational costs as well?
What operational? There wouldn't be any operational costs for the maintenance.
Okay, so then could you help me again with the burn room? We're not doing the burn rooms with that propane?
Not the propane we looked into, and it's not to say, the good thing is that I think of the bill is modular, you can always add on options later on. But the propane system is a current option of $160,000. So I want to see what that is option, but that makes it prohibitive right now, and so we would just go with the regular city vote.
Okay.
So what are the plans to cover any delta of maintenance costs that are recovered from these?
So Holly's asking what are the plans to recover anything that doesn't cover the maintenance and operations costs? Or do you think the fees that you will collect will cover both the maintenance and operations? The reason I'm going on about this, you're saying there's not a lot of operational costs? They're just maintenance costs at this point? And would there be...
not going to be.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So not having the propane, which we know propane is kind of not having propane, the most that we would have would be possibly a couple of outdoor lights that are going to be, LEDs. And I can't imagine even if we did night operations, most of our trains would be a lot more than it is. So the couple lights and anything else, maintenance of the building, which is going to be minimal. And like I said, the money we bring in
see equipment rental fees that we use towards maintenance of the fire house. Equipment rental fees? Yeah, it's fire engine. Rental fees.
That's a different, that would be a board decision, wouldn't it? On how,
That's the
Yeah.
consideration.
yes.
So that's, you know, so you need to think
So-
about what your.
Yes, what I would like to see is that we add a clause to the resolution, because I'm fine with the training tower. My concern is with the maintenance and operational costs, and I would just like to see that those costs are funded by service fees and outside funding sources. And I'm just asking you, Sherry, if you see that as an issue.
I do not see that. See now that I am aware that we have this instructor level. It takes a lot to get someone that is at that instructor level and certified. It takes experience and time and training and money invested. We have a couple of people like that. If we didn't have them, we wouldn't have this option. Because we do, and then that facility, we've got the complete package, and then we can bring the money. So yes, I am comfortable saying that we can bring in money to maintain the building.
But what if we don't have a strong enough revenue stream from training? Where is that?
That's just a cost for training for our own people for that. I don't.
You should speak in the microphone so everyone can hear you, please.
Good.
It's my understanding that there's two things we're talking about. One is use this training facility for our fire department and area fire departments that partner with us. The cost of that is just the cost of the business. If nobody else used it, we would do this because we want our firefighters to have this training. And that's just, and from what I'm understanding, the maintenance cost is minimal. And
So
what,
that's what Chief Moran was saying,
right,
that for those fire partners, mutual fire partners that would come in our park to fight fires, we would train them at our expense, if you will.
right, alongside us, because it's a mutual aid thing, and we would help them, they would help us, and that's just the cost of doing business.
So you need to be mindful of your motion.
I haven't made a motion, I'm just discussing my concerns, and that given that we...
Speak into the microphone, please.
Okay, my concern is that we are currently, we are not having a balanced budget with our CIP included, and it's my concern if we take on additional fees, our small district cannot afford to subsidize other outside agencies. I've heard Sherry say that there will be fees that can be collected from the tower, and she feels that, this is what I understood, that those fees would cover the maintenance costs of the tower. So what I was asking the board and Sherry, if they would be willing to add to the, I haven't made a motion, I'm just asking if you would be willing to add another whereas clause that's saying that the maintenance and operational costs for the tower would be exclusively funded by these service fees she's called out, and with the external funding sources, which she has called out, which is a training that she's done at not she's done, but that Cal Fire does at the college. And that's what I'm asking my fellow directors.
Okay, so I heard Chief Moran say that some courses would not be assessed fees, and I heard her say that some courses would be assessed fees. And we have an unknown here. We have no idea what the cost of the maintenance is going to be. So I have a concern with your motion because I understand that we could say fees collected for training, all applicable training, those funds would go right back into maintenance of the tower, but we cannot at this time estimate an unknown. So we can't say that the cost of the maintenance would be exclusively covered, so I would not
that would be my concern, letting any language exclusively covered assumes things we don't know yet.
Okay? Let's hear from our two directors that are online or on the phone. Let's start with Ellie. Do you have any comments with my suggestion regarding maintenance and operation costs being exclusively funded by service fees and outside funding sources?
Monique, this is Felicity. Did you say that you were asking Ellie if you had any comments?
Yes, I was. Ellie, are you there?
Yes. I feel comfortable, with the building because I know how far they're dragging at this point, which is kind of unthinkable to get us there. And I lean into this. I believe it's a good idea and a good safety education.
Okay. Felicity, your comments?
So I can understand the concern with the ongoing maintenance costs, even though it sounds like there's really great potential for bringing in content on the certified state classes that, there's no guarantee that will happen. And, it's just there's not really that many four-story buildings here in Cameron Park. I would say that, but I think that it doesn't seem like it right now, with all the things that we have, but, I think in the future there will be more four-story buildings in the general area, and I think that the cost will be covered, I understand the risk, but I think the cost will be covered by the fund. So, I'm still in favor of moving ahead with this.
Okay, how does the board feel about me removing the word exclusively then? And adding that maintenance and operational costs will be funded by service fees and outside funding sources. Does that tie our hands less? Is that something that you feel is more accurate?
I'm not sure in this stage of it, I feel it's necessary because we don't know. One suggestion I would make in lieu of that would be in the resolution, under the line of now therefore be resolved, the board of directors gives direction here, approves construction, directs staff to seek final approval from Eldorado County. We can ask council, we can potentially add a line, directs fire staff to explore revenue generating opportunities and report back to the board with that, simply because we know some, but there is a good plan in place for it. And I'm concerned about tying down a resolution to something we're just unsure of. Even though we know it's possible, we're confident it will happen. Rather than explore and bring it back once we have more surety. I don't know if that addresses your concern, but it does put some direction for them to explore that, bring it back to the board. It's going to take a lot of instruction, it's going to take a lot of support, where this is a ways down the road.
Director Morrison, I think that you can say funds, fees collected for training classes will go toward the cost of maintenance. But I'm not sure what to do if there are excessive fees that are covered. So I don't know if it goes into an adjusted mid-year budget. I'm not sure what the time frame for billing is, 6 months, a year. We have to bring it into
Or what
an
happens?
adjustment.
What happens if we collect more than we need? Does it have to
that
stay
might go.
exclusively in a fund for that? I mean, is that possible?
It would seem so. Yes, Navarro, can you help us?
I can tell you that if the maintenance costs are greater than the funding source you have available and the funding source that you have budgeted for, yes, you are going to have to come back and commit other funding. And that other funding can come from a number of places. It can come from fund balance. It it can come from fire equipment rental if the board so desires. I would caution that that fund is a finite fund. There's no guarantee that that fund will get refunded on a routine basis. So if you bring it down to the maintenance cost of the tower, you may be excluding the maintenance or the purchase cost of an engine, for example. But it would require that you come back to the board and gain approval for an appropriation for that additional cost. Did I answer your question?
Okay, let's hear from our members, our board members on the phone. Any further comments from, let's start with Felicity.
I'm sorry, did you say you want to hear from the board?
Yes, because Eric suggested that we perhaps, where it says now therefore be it resolved, that we add another bullet point asking for a estimate of rental income or
Explore revenue opportunities.
And then Holly also said that she, if I make sure I get this right, Holly, that she is okay with any fees collected on the tower be used to maintain the tower. And I was asking if you had any further comments on their comments.
Thank you. Mostly I did not have any further comments.
Could you repeat that? And Ellie, do you have any further comments?
No, well, you know what? I feel that we have discussed this quite some time, and I think if there was ever a time when our firefighters needed support, especially in training, that this should go through.
Okay, let's go ahead and open this up to the public. Does the public have any comments regarding this agenda item? Seeing none, bringing it back to the board, would anyone care to make a motion? So if you'd like to make a motion, you can clarify that.
Why don't you go ahead and start, and we can amend it if we need to, because I think your initial language is fine with what we talked about adding any fee collected for training at the tower that will go toward maintenance of said tower.
Okay,
And always something to come back to the board. Do you say that?
Will you speak into the microphone so we can
I don't think that you would need to say that in the resolution because that is the appropriate action that would be taken should you not have available funding for the maintenance. Yes, we're in dire times, and so I don't think that that would be necessary. It would just be that it would be the board's decision.
Okay. So I would, this is Director Morrison, I would like to make a motion regarding resolution number 2020-09, resolution to approve constructing a fire and rescue facility tower with the additional language, whereas any fees collected for training at said tower will go toward any maintenance fees of the tower.
I will second that motion. And from a poll vote, we'll start with a poll vote, please, Vicki.
Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Aston,
Aye.
Director Carlson,
Aye.
Director Wooten,
Aye.
Director Morrison,
Okay, resolution 2020-09 passes with the added language, 5-0.
Congratulations.
Okay, moving on to our next,
Before we move on, so Chief Morantz, did you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
I didn't hear any of the questions before, but I understand that it's not, is that correct?
Yes, with the simple addition of, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Chief?
We'll try this again. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
It passed with a simple addition of a whereas fees collected in use of the tower will be put toward maintenance costs.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
5-0 vote.
Perfect.
okay,
Thank you.
blah, blah, blah. That was for you, Sherry. Okay, too much fun. Moving on to board item number 13.
If I may, sir, is there any other agenda item for Chief Morantz, or may we release her from a bad sounding meeting?
Chief Moran,
I want to make a comment here. If I can start. Matters to the
Chief Morantz?
Yes.
Hey, Chief.
But now they
Okay,
can't,
we can start matters.
but they can't hear.
So I'll talk anyway.
The others.
I'll do both. So this is Director Morrison, matters to and from. We're going to, President Scobie is going to release Chief Morant, but I wanted to just congratulate CAL FIRE on a very successful grad week. It was fun, entertaining, and the food was delicious and a good time had by all. So congratulations on another successful event.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it myself. It was great. Thank you.
So, Sherry, if you want to sign off, you're welcome to, or you're welcome to keep joining us. It's up to you.
I really appreciate the offer, but I wouldn't understand what you guys are saying. So thank you. I know it was a little challenge last night. I really appreciate everybody sticking it out and appreciate the support here. So thank you. Thanks, Sherry.
Thank you. So my second
Okay,
item,
bye.
yeah, that's Holly Madison, huh?
second item, Saturday, March 14th, was the dedication of the Paul J. Ryan Memorial Park sign. I sent some photographs along. Are you able to pull them up at all, any of them? I thought I sent them over to Nikki over the weekend and realized that they did not go out. So I've sent them to her, and hopefully they can get sent out to us or posted. It was a tremendous day. It did not start raining until we started the memorial service, which was perfect for Paul, because we've been in a drought for so long, no rain in February, and to have it start to rain at the memorial was wonderful. The sign is incredible. Hopefully you had a chance to drive by it on Cameron Park Drive in Hacienda. The final cost of the sign, I think our initial estimate from a couple of the sign companies is $3,000 for one of those metal signs with the plastic wrap. The cost to us of the sign was $45. That does not include all the district charges for the painting and the installation. But even if it's at $200, it's a tremendous bargain. We had a student named Eamon from El Dorado High School who showed up. Joe Harn was present and had given me a check for $500 made out to El Dorado High School. I gave that to Mike Grassley, and that will go back to the school, and hopefully they have a foundation or some organization that can use the money to create a possible scholarship in Paul Ryan's name. And I was telling them about Eamon and the check from Joe Harn. So Mike's going to meet with, the shop teachers did not make it, so Mike's going to meet and present the check, and we'll see what they're able to do with that. And then the third item is I just wanted to thank staff for all your work this week. I know it's daunting, and thank you so much. It's just been completely professional, impeccable, and you guys stay safe, and thank you so much. I know it was quite a burden to take on shutting down the district, so thank you to all of you and your staff.
And let's go ahead and move on to a phone director. Ellie, do you have any matters to and from?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
Do you have any matters to and from?
Not at this time, no.
Felicity?
Three things, like so many families in Cameron Park, my son's school is closed, so my family's figuring out how to go work from home and be a teacher and daycare provider and all that. So we're trying to figure that out, like so many families here in Cameron Park. I did attend the shared CDAC meeting, this was last week, in the Economic Development Advisory Committee of the county, and we voted to seek the agenda item on the county board of supervisors to state that we support the county moving forward with a West Slope housing plan. The housing crisis is really acute here, and I think recent events, the economic and health events are going to really cause a lot of change in families and small businesses in this area, so I think very housing is going to become a bigger issue starting in April. So I'm looking forward to kind of making that continued support. And then the last thing is that somebody at my work, spouse, did test positive for coronavirus. So I'm following the advice of all the scientists and keeping away from other members of the community so that we can really try to flatten that curve. And I wish everybody well, and I really appreciate all the work that staff and board members and volunteers and members of the public are doing to keep all of our regular systems going while we're readjusting these other things. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Felicity. Eric?
Yes, echo a couple of items Holly said. Attended the crab feed. It was my first one, and oh, what an experience. Particularly the table of ladies in the far corner throwing money around at cakes. That was particularly inspiring. So, well done to everybody on that. And did enjoy being at the Paul Ryan dedication there at the park. And really encouraged to hear of this building into an ongoing relationship with El Dorado High School for replacing some of the signs in our parks around the community, building some continuity there. That's spectacular. Also echo Felicity's comment on schools closed as a teacher, experiencing this up front. Two things. One is I'm very impressed with our superintendents, our educational leadership in this county who have responded but not simply reacted. They've done a wonderful job of communicating to parents, to kids, to staff. There's been wonderful coordinated efforts. All the schools and school districts are providing meals for kids on an ongoing basis, which is wonderful. And that seems to feed into what I'm seeing online and in next door forums where so many in our community are offering themselves to help senior and elderly and folks who cannot go out to get supplies and groceries. And I'm just proud of our community seeing the response happening on that. With the exception of hoarding toilet paper, but I think that will die down after a while once people have more room for it. So, that's the matters to it.
So are you not going in school?
It is a fluid situation. At this point, Placerville, all the other County schools are closed through the Easter break, is the official word at this point. And after that, it is undecided, but statements of the governor has made that there's potential for that to lengthen. So these are extraordinary times, and we're trying to take measures, if nothing else, to stay connected to the kids and make sure they're okay and keep their brains somewhat active.
And this is Monique. I'd like to, my matters to and from, I attended the Frisbee golf ribbon cutting, and there's a lot of Frisbee golfers. And in my standard fashion, I love to talk to people, so the couple of people I ran into, they were one from Stockton and one from Vallejo. I mean, they came from out of the area to come check out our golf course. So I thought that was interesting. There was also our local club there, and proudly showing off the new course, which is quite impressive and large. I've never played Frisbee golf, but I'm going to have to get a disc and go out there and just try it. I also attended the crab feed, which was very good. The crab was really, I enjoyed that. That was fun. And I want to really thank the staff for just jumping on this, paying attention to our health directives and being communicative and cleaning up the community center. I mean, it's really heartwarming to see such competent staff. I really appreciate that. And likewise with the board, everybody online, we have all of our board members here today in this situation, and I give goosebumps. Thank you everybody for making the effort and making this happen so we can get our district business done. I can't thank you enough. The staff.
If I start one thing I forgot to add, I also want to add thanks to the staff, because an additional layer to all this was General Manager's unfortunate incident that added even more complication to it, but thank you to the staff for picking that up, and to Jill, if you hear this, for doing what you can from where you are, when they're snowed up in Pollock Pines and all of those things. I mean, just layer upon layer of things, and you all continue to do so well. Thank you for that very much.
And is there any to and from matters from staff that you'd like to bring up?
I'm prepared to give you a little rundown of what's been happening at the center in response to the coronavirus, but I've been keeping in touch with everybody involved, and so it might be a little bit of a rerun. So I will leave it up to you. If you have any questions, I can answer them, but otherwise, no.
Holly?
Felicity, I feel like you provided a really good answer tonight. So thank you. I have a question.
So can you tell us what the plan is for staff working? Do you intend for staff, all staff to stay on, or what's the plan as it looks like we're going to be in this for quite a while?
It does look like we may be in for the long haul. We are currently developing strategies to find the best model for going forward at the district. So even with budget, we're trying to put forth different strategies and so we're still working on that. But we are very well aware of our situation.
I believe, Mike, you had something to share?
Just real quick, yeah, I think that's what Vicki said, and also.
I was aware that Mike had something to say, and so he is now at the microphone.
I got one right here. Yeah. Just piggyback on what Vicki said, Vicki's done a fantastic job putting together all the information for staff. I was out sick towards the end of last week and the beginning of this week, but I feel much better today.
Mike, you need to talk slower. Slow down.
So Vicki took a lot of the workload with all the coronavirus messaging and updating. I was out sick late last week and early this week. Feel much better now, so thank you for doing that, Vicki. So to what Holly said, at least in my department, I'm evaluating a lot of the part-time staff. There's 4 part-time staff in the community center. The parks currently have none, but they are budgeted to bring some in for the summer. So we are reevaluating how we can shift resources from one place to the other. We're looking at contract services, not only at the community center, but in the parks as well, just to kind of reallocate workloads, to try to keep some of the part-time staff on in some capacity. One decision that I made today with Jill is we are going to be closing the park back rooms starting Friday. One reason is because several other districts have been doing that, not only for, the coronavirus spread, but also the cost and the workload that it is on staff. By closing the park restrooms, we'll keep all the, we'll keep the staff and the public safe, but we'll also be not having to redirect more staff to maintain the bathrooms, which is a pretty big cost to the district, not only in labor, but in supplies. So those are the kind of things we're evaluating. I think it changes every hour, like as far as the news that comes in, but we're trying to make the most best decision possible, really. And it's going to change as we go, I'm sure. So, but yeah, we are looking at it closely every day. Okay.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that update. All right, I believe the SDRMA Spring Education Day has been canceled. So that is not going on. We do not know yet about the special district legislative days at this point. Is that correct?
No, I haven't.
So that's, we don't know the status of that, but it's likely to be closed, maybe you think. Okay, so those are our matters to and from. That was item 13. We're now moving on to item 14, LAFCO. Holly?
At our LAFCO meeting, we made some decisions in January, gave direction to our executive director to hire necessary staff to complete some of the reports that were not complete. We had one longtime employee who was the glue in the organization resign, and another employee who was fairly new resign. So it's down to a 2-person operation, and then we're hit with this health issue worldwide, and so as you can imagine, business still needs to go on. There are projects that need to be done, so people are working from home, and I'm sure as Vicki and Jill are facing, you on the front lines and Jill remotely is trying to make these big decisions. So they're being made all throughout county. The business does have to go on, so that's pretty much what we discussed. We are dark for April. Right, we're in March, right? So March, we're dark for March, and we will meet again in April and see where we are. But as with every agency around the world, it's kind of on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you, Holly. Moving on to item 15, our committee reports, starting with budget and admin. I believe that's Eric.
Yes, most of what is in the report, but some of that came here. We were supposed to get a report from Waste Management regarding their amended agreements, looking at some of the new requirements from the state. And potentially we were asking about potential rate increases related to that. They were not able to put that information together, so we'll look at that hopefully next time when they make that available for us. We reported back on consent agenda just to clarify language, so we're all clear moving forward with some meetings here. We were given a 5-year budget draft projection, just simple numbers to start laying down a path. We're going to revisit that after this next budget year's numbers are finalized, so we have something to begin working with and project from. It was just encouraging to see one more piece like that planning for our future, so we're excited about that. Great report from Finance and Human Resources, just a lot happening in February. Training, reports, and renewing our SCRA insurance renewal in time for discount. Thank you, Vicki. Report that budget development continues, and we will adapt that as developments happen. But we'll continue moving forward with that. And then the Umpqua Bank's commercial card program, we're hoping to implement that this month. I don't know if that Vicki was going to finalize or that's.
We're still, it kind of got put on the back burner a bit, but we're just right in the final stages. We've got a list of folks that need the credit cards in the district, and so we're ready to do that and move over to Umpqua from U.S. Bank. So we're almost there.
Okay. And that's a summary of the budget at the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. CC&R, and our chair is Sid. So either Holly or Felicity, could you report out, please?
The chair, so I'll let Ellie speak, but I just want to say that I really appreciate the work that Kate has done to work with the community and get folks to think that they have to like applying some of the covenants without having to go to more harsh measures. So I just want to appreciate Kate's on it. Thank you.
Holly?
Kate gave us a text. Kate gave the committee a text and showed us a series of what do you think, Felicity, about 20 images. And we had to determine what we thought they were. And to help us understand what she faces every day, they were vehicles, they were all vehicles. They were trucks and cars and vans and RVs and pickups, and did they fall under her jurisdiction or not? And it's very interesting. It's a lot of work. So I'm encouraged by where she's gotten. There's still a lot of work to do in CC&Rs. Our community, CC&R, it's just absurd how they are. They're all different. As each development was built, CC&Rs were written, and we have a lot of work to do. So I think Kate's doing a great job.
Thank you. Moving on to Fire and Emergency Services. I believe that's Ellie as the chair.
Yes. Well, I don't think I have too much to say on it tonight because I think the folks who were there said what had to be said.
Yeah, we brought forward the weed and rubbish abatement from committee, that ordinance, and we also brought forward the training tower from that committee. And I think that was it, right, Ellie?
Right.
I'm hopeful that weed abatement, updated weed abatement ordinance language will be able to assist our weed abatement team and our CCNR team to deal with some of the major issues that we have. We don't have that many. All things considered, besides the community that we are, you all live here, you all drive within the neighborhoods. We're not that bad. We have a couple of major legal issues, but I'm encouraged with the ordinance language.
Okay, moving on to Parks and Rec, and our chair on Parks and Rec.
I can honestly say there's not too many people in parks at this time. And I'm afraid some of our recreational services will have to be discontinued just for a certain period. And we all know why. And I live in the senior park, and they all know that they don't dare leave their houses as necessary dead. So we're not going to the park for recreation at this time. But Mike's doing a great job keeping everything up.
Thank you, Ellie, and I believe that meeting was actually canceled. Yes, there was no Parks and Rec meeting. Okay, moving on to Solar Energy Ad Hoc Committee. Eric, would you like to report out?
Sure. At our last ad hoc meeting, we were presented the feasibility study from ARC. They presented their assessment of three different options and the recommendation for this project. Sorry, slow down. Sorry. I was very grateful and impressed with the thoroughness of their review and the details that they brought to us. We had a couple members of the fire department there to also give input because part of the proposed project involves Station 89, primarily community center and Station 89 in these other places. There are other considerations which we can get into when we present that at a later date. But they gave us some good options to consider. We asked them to come back with some additional considerations to adjust the load and size of the project, including things like HVAC units for the community center. Part of the proposal involves shade structures, and there's a difference between shade structures and parking shade structures in terms of ADA compliance. And so there are some possibilities there that were actually light, that we could do one or the other, but could also involve some impact. So it allows some flexibility on where the structures might go. We also asked them to come back to us with some ideas of considerations for system purchase and financing along with a power purchase agreement. The initial idea was to do power purchase and not have financial outlay from the district. But we also thought it good to at least be able to see what the options are so we can make that decision, one versus the other. So we weren't deciding that, just asking them to come back with it. So they will be coming back to us with some of those adjustments at our next meeting. The other piece of that was the committee considered a lighting project proposal that they've been working on with Bright Energy and Mike. And there were three proposals brought forward. The middle one, the Bright, was the one that we decided was the one to move forward with, the most impact for the least money. And there's a tentative payback on that in about 5.9 years, potentially more depending on rates and the ability to do that on-bill financing, so it's not money out of our pocket. So it's really encouraging development from that as well. And Dr. Stoker, I don't know if there's anything else from the meeting you want to add to that.
Very thorough, thank you. Okay, the landscape and lighting assessment district, I believe that was also canceled, and I understand Jill is working, she'll be working with you next week to reschedule that meeting. So, having made it to the end of the meeting, do we need that motion to adjourn? So moved.
So seconded.
All right, all in favor? Let's do a poll vote to adjourn.
Director Scobie?
Aye.
Director Aston?
Aye.
Director Carlson?
Aye.
Director Wooten?
Aye.
Director Morrison?
Aye.
Great, thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night.